there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be doing an author spotlight on Alice Feeney. I just read my second Alice Feeney book that just came out a few weeks ago, so I thought I would go over the two books that Alice Feeney has published in publication order. Let me know if you guys have read either of these books and what your thoughts are. I will link them down below and let's hop right into it. So Alice Feeney's premiere novel is Sometimes I Lie, and I really enjoyed this book. This one follows a woman named Amber who she wakes up in a hospital and she can't open her eyes, she can't move, and she can't speak. And she realizes soon that she is in a coma based on the nurses around her talking about it. And she has no memory of what happened to her, but she hears that she was in an accident. So you know that she had an accident that landed her in a coma. And so you're seeing dual perspective of basically a week leading up to the accident and then her putting together what happened based on what she hears around her from her family and her spouse. And the week leading up to her accident, some pretty crazy things were happening in her life and her mental state just wasn't all there. And then while she's in the coma, also her mental state is not that great and she's kind of confusing memories and imagining things that aren't there, and so you're kind of wondering what is real and what is not. And then interspersed in those chapters you're seeing these diary entries of a teenager, and some crazy things happen to that teenager. And I really enjoyed this. I loved putting the pieces together. I don't want to say much more about the plot line, but it was a pretty crazy ride, and the ending is very open-ended. And so if you're not a fan of open-ended kind of guess for yourself endings, you probably would not like the ending of this book. But I really liked that I didn't really know exactly the ending and it was kind of up to my own interpretation. So if you like those kind of endings, you'd probably love this book. It is pretty short. It is under 300 pages, so it reads really fast. And it was a really good read. I highly recommend it. I think I gave this one 4.5 stars. Alice Feeney's second novel is I Know Who You Are, and this one just came out at the end of last month. And this one is a lot different than Sometimes I Lie. This one follows a woman named Amy Sinclair, who is an actress, and her husband Ben goes missing. She comes home one day and he is not home, but he left his keys, his phone, everything behind, and so she thinks that something bad happened to him. And when she goes to the police to tell them that her husband is missing, they start to investigate it, and all of the signs point to her. So all the evidence is pointing that she is the one who hurt him, but she has literally no memory of doing anything to him, and she in her heart of hearts doesn't believe that she would have hurt her husband. So she's starting to question her own memory, her own sanity, and you're starting as a reader to question whether or not she could have hurt her husband. And meanwhile, we also see another timeline back to 1987, which is 20 years before, and you see when Amy was a child, something crazy happens to her and it changes the path of her whole life, and you're wondering how it relates to current times and how the two stories merge, and they end up merging, just not in the way that I guessed. I thought I was going to love this book because a lot of my Goodreads friends rated it pretty high, and I loved Sometimes I Lie, so I thought I would love this one too. But I really hated the ending. I didn't like the twist. Although I didn't guess the twist, I didn't like it. And it just didn't work for me. And I ended up rating this one 3 stars, which I think is a little generous. I think it's more like 2.5. So I'm a little bummed, but I do plan on reading the rest of Alice Feeney's works because I really did like Sometimes I Lie. So yes, this one was a miss, but I would highly recommend Sometimes I Lie, just maybe not this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this author spotlight on Alice Feeney. I'd love to hear if you guys have read either of these books or if you want to, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.